So, 4 months being listed on Google as permanently closed, and I was able to see it with my own eyes. Now, remember, I told y'all I purposely left them cameras up there because I knew they were watching, I knew they could listen. So I grabbed the ladder again and I went off again. Like, what the fuck? Who does that? I called Google. I called the ads company or whatever, and I'm asking them, like, why are we listed as permanently closed? They said, oh, well, the person who's in charge of the account told us that you were permanently closed. I said, that's impossible. I said, well, who did you talk to? They told me who they talked to, and I said, she told you that? He said, yeah. His name was Aaron. He said, Miss So-and-so said to list it as permanently closed. You're no longer open. So that's what we did. Wow. So you really didn't want me to succeed. That was never the plan. Because why would you do that? And this is the conversation now I'm having within myself. These are the prayers now that I'm praying. These are the tears that I'm crying because I'm like, the audacity to have me walk away from everything, to watch me leave my home, my family, to give up everything that I knew, to move to the unfamiliar, to take on something you knew was set up to fail. How dare you? And that's what I said in the cameras. I said that in the cameras. I'm not going to hold you. I got up on that ladder and I looked in them cameras and was like, since you can fucking hear me, let me say and another thing. So none of this should be new that I'm saying to the ones who I said it to, because everything can be brought up. Recordings do get saved. Those cameras were active. But my Google account was not. Oh, and then it happened again. That wasn't just the first time. And see, I couldn't take over that Google account, and I wasn't able to create a new one until that person canceled that one. So they told me what I had to do to get it listed again. So I actually had to go leave a comment underneath leave a review underneath my own business and say, we are not permanently closed. It eventually came off. And I forget how long it took for that to come off to show that we were open. And things started to pick up a little bit, but by then it is financially just, it's bad. I can't pay my own personal bills. I'm sinking everything into this place and don't even have enough to cover that place at this point. Now we're into January, February. And now it's solely my responsibility because now everything is in my name. So, except for the cafe. That was still, according to corporate, it was still in that person's name. So I still couldn't really do anything. Then it got even weirder. So at some point, I'm trying to document volume. And I'm noticing that it's not coming where it's supposed to go. It's not going where it's supposed to go. It's going somewhere else. And I'm trying to figure out, well, how come I'm not seeing the receipts that I'm documenting? I'm documenting volume, but I'm not seeing the receipts. And I'm not seeing the volume. And so I'm like, this is really weird. Because I got back out there, hit the pavement, and people started coming in again, okay? So and started doing waffles and donuts, and so it started to pick up. Still in the negative, though, not just the red now. I'm in the negative, okay? So it's not even profiting me anything at this point. But I'm still holding on. We're on life support at this point, okay? And I'm like, please resuscitate me. I'm not signing a DNR. Although at this point, my shareholders were like, please just get out. We're losing money. But I'm still holding on to faith, right? Because I jumped off the cliff and was like, God help me, I'm out here now. And there were so many moments where God did come in and step in for me, you know. During this time where I'm not seeing any volume coming to the club, although the club is bringing in volume because I'm documenting it and I have the receipts to show for it, I called corporate and I'm like, something weird is happening. Can you see the volume from today and yesterday? They couldn't see anything. And I said, okay, well, I have a satellite cafe. I'm going to document that volume. Can you please tell me if you see it? Documented the same receipt from the customer that just came in, and they saw that receipt. They saw that volume. But they said, okay, I'm going to take it and put it over to, this cafe. I'm like, thank you. Well, they saw that. It was like $8. They saw that because they transferred it. But then I did it again. They said, do another one. So I, pulled up another one. They said, well, do a fake one. I did a fake one, right? They didn't see it. And they said, that's strange. I said, it is. And I said, well, is there anything I can do? They said, no, the person who the name is, who owns the cafe. And I said, well, technically I'm on the lease. They said, yeah, but according to us, they haven't transferred ownership over to you yet. So we can't help you do anything as far as documenting volume is concerned. We just know we don't see it underneath this name, under the cafe. Fine. I said, would I be allowed to document the volume under my satellite then? And they gave me permission to do that. However, after a year goes by of no volume showing up underneath the cafe's name, I got in serious trouble. I couldn't believe it. Like, it was really to the point where it looked like I was committing fraud. Like, listen. It was bad. So for me to almost be in jeopardy of losing my distributorship, at that point, I was ready to throw in the towel. We get past a year. Throughout that time, I had lost my apartment. Like, I had to sleep in the cafe for a little bit. Now I have my son. Like, I'm struggling bad because I'm not making any money. The only money that I had coming in was from my workers' comp, which wasn't enough to cover anything, really, because it was 66% of my income. I won't say it wasn't enough to cover anything, but it wasn't enough to cover my personal expenses, getting to the cafe, feeding my son, and, taking care of the cafe expenses on what little was coming into the cafe. Like, it just was not enough. And I will never forget one day, I had all my stuff in the cafe, in the back, kind of tucked away. And these gentlemen came in, and they see all my stuff, of course, but they're doing their work. And I'm sitting there, and I'm really just trying not to cry. Because all of my shit is in the back of my business. And I can't hide it. Suitcases, blankets, And I can't put it in the back office because the ceiling is still caved in there, and I'm still working to get it repaired little by little, right? Long story short, one of the gentlemen leaves and the other one came back in. He said, is everything okay? I said, well, I'm looking for a place to live right now. He said, are you sleeping here? And I said, yes. He said, well, how much do you need to get out of the hole? And I told him. He said, don't worry, God's going to take care of you. That man gave me a check to cover everything I needed to get out of the hole and to get another place for me and my son. And to have more to kind of get ahead. Despite whatever was going on, God still looked out for me.